Thank you.
So, Michael. All right, so I've got some stuff lined up that we're going to talk about. So we've got the show on May the 22nd. We've
Yep.
got the festival on July 25th. And then
Yep.
we'll talk about some stuff you've done recently, a little bit of the history. So we can get some filler in there. And then I hope you're ready for your two reels that you're going to do.
I don't know how to do them, but sure.
You just sit there and you go, hey, man, buy tickets to my show. And that's it. Yeah, we'll do that at the end, though, once you've warmed up and had a bit of a chin wag. All right. So
Sure.
we'll start actually with, before we get into the whole show stuff, we'll start a little bit with the history of the brand, not the band. Because my understanding was, based on research, it was you, Lachlan, and Will who started it. Is it you?
Close enough. Yeah, I started, then they joined.
Okay. Okay. So, and that was, when was that? Was it like nearly 10 years ago?
No, it was 3 years ago, I believe. So you said not to talk about the band, but both of them kind of tie in because I started Ironjaw because I couldn't figure out who to speak to book shows. So I decided to start booking shows for like I Choose Violence and Ironjaw Bookings as one, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that was 2023. Yeah, yeah, it was.
So from there, though, you went straight into doing, because that was when like all these festivals came out. Like I'm a Burden. Was that 24? Was it the first one? Yeah. So you
I'm pretty sure that was
that's
23 as well.
23 as well. Yeah.
I think it was the first year. I can't. I should know this, but I actually can't remember because I keep getting dates confused.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. So I mean, straight away you've gone and gone straight from creating this organization to go and support the band to then you're doing these festivals. Like that's quite an impressive kind of dream to go and have that you then go and deliver on. Like what was the whole thought process behind doing it that quickly?
Well, it was literally a matter of I woke up one day and decided I wanted to do these things, so I was going to do it. There was no more thought into it. It was well, we kind of like things just had a natural progression. So the first show was like 5 bands, and then I made those like Dead by Daylight things, which was 8 bands or 10 bands. I can't remember. I think it was 8 over 2 stages at Enigma when that was uh, still a thing. And then yep, so and then we started just going up from there. The other person I did the I'm Not a Burden with, he had like interest in doing like the tattoo mental health side of things as did I. Um, we just knew each other from friend circles, and then just yeah, we were like, how do we do this? What do we do? What do we want to do? And then just did it. So, and that was yeah, 9 months into Ironjaw Bookings.
Yeah, so that was a September, I think, September, October, roughly. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
got a
September.
tattoo with the first one.
I've
Yeah,
got
that one
everything here in
actually.
front of me, so I should know. I always forget how you
Yeah,
check
right, I know.
when.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a tattoo right there. So then you fast forward 3 years, and
yep.
obviously you've done a number of other all-day events or multi-show, multi-band shows at particular venues, and then you've got this one that's coming up on July 21st, which is Volume One of There Will Be Blood at
July
Jive.
25th.
I said July 25th, didn't
Nice and fast. It's all good.
I? That's what I've got written on a bit of paper, July 25th.
uh, yeah,
And
no.
of course, that features, guess who? I Choose Violence, but also features
Yes.
obviously a whole bunch of other Adelaide bands as well. Because I mean, there's punk in there, there's hardcore in there as well. I mean,
Yeah.
this is this going. What makes this one stand out different from the other ones you've done?
I'm doing this one with the help of some friends as well. So I've got Harry from Chapel Hill that helped me formulate this, as well as Rylan, who's in Double Barrel Solution, and he's in Seppuku Bookings as well. That's the name at the top of the flyer thing there. What makes this one stand out is we just wanted. I don't know how to exactly explain what I have in mind. I'm just going to say it's not a sausage fest. We'll just put it that way. um, and we wanted to keep it cheap. We wanted to keep it all ages because there's a lot of cool all ages events happening lately, but they're not usually in actual venues and stuff. They're in community halls and all that. We wanted to give some new bands, some young bands, like a chance to get started as well. We've got 3 interstate bands on the lineup, which are Identity Era, As Long as It Bleeds, and Nebulam. Never worked with any of those before, but have been wanting to work with them for a while now. Just basically, yeah, I'm rebranding the Dead by Daylight things and the Southern Death Fest. This is just smaller and easier to do, I believe. So yeah.
And having it at Jive as well. So that's is that the first time you've worked there with one of your festivals?
Yeah, yeah. First time I've booked any events there.
Yeah. It starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe, from what I've read. So
Correct.
I mean, apart from it
2 to
not being a
11.
sausage, 2 to 11, yeah. So I mean, how long is each band going to have like half an hour set or 15 minutes?
Yeah, no, they've all got basically at least 5 bands have 25-minute sets. There's 15-minute hand changeovers in between bands, and then the rest of the bands have 30-minute sets, including my own that's headlining it there. So I made it. I squished in one more band. I was going 12, and then due to the recommendation of another promoter, I added a 13th band, which like condensed things a little bit more in the way of performance times, but I think it'll be fun. It's chaos because this is one stage this time, and yeah, 13 bands, and less
Been
time than we've
talking.
ever done it in before.
You mentioned there chaos. What sort of challenges do you face when you go and set these sorts of festivals up?
Without the likes of Corno concert services, helping people get on and off stage in time, those would be the only issues I would actually face. People just going over time. Not that this actually really ever happens, touch wood. But the foreseen issues are like bands going over time, setting up, taking too long to set up, and all that sort of stuff. So, and I just need all the bands on it to be like, as per any event that I host as well. I provide set times well in advance to the bands, like run sheets, so they should know. It's just up to them to look at the watches and be on time, do the stuff on time, get off on time, and so on.
Cool, cool. And so, I mean, your band's headlining. So we will talk about
Mm-hmm.
them. We will have a little bit about that band because obviously you've just done some shows with Cranium as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're going off to Albury, I believe, in May.
Yeah.
I saw that as well, and obviously you got the show. They're both with Arkangel, aren't they? So the show here and in Albury.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the game plan for I Choose Violence this year?
Well, we talked slightly about what we've already done, as you just said. So we started the year playing Bleeding Through in Melbourne on the 29th of January, I believe. Froth and Fury the next day. I don't think I booked any more shows in between that because we had the Cranium tour, which was fun. We did the Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, not New Zealand. And then the other shows you just mentioned. But so that's taken us up after There Will Be Blood. That's until July. Not too sure what the future plans are yet. I'm actually like scratching my head thinking what to do next because it's like just that alone is like that's cool. We can call that a year basically, but I can't do that because compulsion leads me to want to do more. So this There Will Be Blood thing, we're headlining it only purely because of the reason that A, I booked it all, and B, we're releasing another EP, which is basically like a follow up or a side B to the last one we released a year ago. Well, in 3 days, it's actually been a year. So we're using this to launch that off and see where that takes us, basically. But yeah, still, July is a few months away, so I haven't made any more plans yet. It'd be nice to get some more support slots, but I don't know of any bands that are actually coming over here that we would like suit on a spot. Yeah, don't know. Start writing an album is actually what we're going to be doing because we want to do a full length and we've got so much material now. Yeah, this is just like a little filler thing, I suppose.
But like, even that, like half a year, it's like you've done all these shows and then you drop in an EP. That's still quite a bit. It's quite a bit
Yeah,
considering you all have other jobs, you know.
yeah, it is.
All right. So May 22nd at the Ed Castle.
Yep.
It is still the Ed Castle,
Yeah, it's
right?
been moved to TIA Adelaide on Highland Street.
Okay. Won't ask about that. So that's off camera. Okay, so that's one that you got Chapel Hill on that as well. Sunken, No Way Forward. Still the same lineup.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, Archangel on that too.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we
So,
said before.
I mean, what can you tell us about? I mean, Archangel themselves having, you're now working with them in terms of doing this particular show. What you feel that night will be as well for people to go and watch them.
Um, Not really sure, to be honest. I had this. I had all these questions that you could have possibly asked me in my head before, and I did the bad thing where I've just now overloaded my own brain of information. As far as I know, well, no, Arcade have already been here once. I think they played the Medal on Murray recently, possibly, or the last one. Not too sure. They hit me up to book this because they're doing Moodoo in Peary the following day, I believe. So it was just good for them to have, bounce from show to show. Um, I have not worked with Sunken, No Way Forward, or Archangel yet as bands, so I'm looking forward to it because of that reason alone. And they're all in the kind of, ballpark of genres of music I like. What fans could expect is hopefully lots of breakdowns, lots of two steps, and yeah, just a bit of fun.
How do you? It's interesting, like because obviously you play and you work these shows. I mean, what sort of preparation do you do to switch from, hey, I'm the promoter guy, buy a t-shirt, to the guy who's roaring on stage? Like, how do you switch?
Well, I fucking suck at talking either way, so like that part's not hard to switch. That's why I just sing and I try not to talk on stage. Switching between promoter, I obviously have to go from like, hey, I'm in this very aggressively named band to a possibly aggressively named business, which is not. Um, I don't know. There's just two sides of professionalism in my head that they just click, and I can't explain how they do. Um, they just do. I'm Michael, and I choose violence over there for that 30 minutes, and then the rest of it's basically Ironjaw Bookings, and I don't know how I do that. um, yeah, they're meant to be like hopefully taken as two separate entities anyway, because I sing about certain things over there, but those things don't necessarily need to bleed into the business side of things, so to speak.
The It might be too soon to ask this question, or maybe not. You won't say, but I mean, what plans are there for Ironjaw bookings after July the 25th, if you can say?
I would like to follow this up with another There Will Be Blood. I am already trying to work on one. Harry from Chapel Hill and I already have like a big ass list of bands that we want to work with. But the intended goal would be like this, the next one would be like 3 months away. I don't have, so basically October, and I don't have anything between July to October, and I haven't thought too much about the rest of the year. I'd like to do some more free shows, some more all ages events. It's just a matter of finding venues that can actually facilitate these things that don't charge an arm and a leg, and willingness of bands. Like I'm always happy to pay bands to do free shows if they're not actually getting paid from people. But yeah, that can lead to some challenges in itself anyway.
You mentioned that about the challenges and the venues. I mean, Adelaide's a weird one, and your shows you played at many different venues. Um,
Yeah.
Many of them that I've gone to see your band or your shows at. I mean, what sort of challenges do you have both as a promoter trying to put a show on and as a band just in Adelaide? But therefore, the flip side of that coin, what are the positives that you've got from having that work experience or work knowledge with these venues as well?
I'll go with the positive other end of that question first. So it allows you to think outside the box because the actual challenge is venues and getting them because there's I don't know how many promoters are in Adelaide, but everyone wants to put on shows every weekend, which is great and all of that. But that will obviously lead towards challenges for me if I want to put on events every so often. Um, yeah, but yeah, so I've got good like I've built good relationships with a few venues. So like a lot of well, a few of them are willing to like to be like, yep, just if this person doesn't get back to me, then you've got it, and I'm like, cool. And then that's usually how my events happen. Because I will very quickly be like, hey, person at venue, I've got this idea, I want to do this. Have you got any bands locked in? No, it's just an idea. All right, well, if you can lock in a few, it's yours. And then here's two bands. Like, yeah, it's yours. Go for gold. So, uh, like the let's go like this sort of thing. Well, what was the last one? Southern Death Fest. Hit up like Lion Arts, and it was the same sort of conversation. Do you have any bands? Yeah, I'm like, no, it's just an idea. I can get it going pretty quickly, and they were like, well, if you can do so, then yeah, it's yours. And I did, and that was what 25 bands the first one, I think. Which is
Yeah.
stupid but fun. I don't know. Actually, flying around Australia recently, I got a lot of nice feedback in all the other states about that one show, so that was cool. People from Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane all attended it as bands and fans. So yeah, that was cool. That's the positive, a positive.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, have you considered either one, taking any of these ideas into state, or two, speaking to promoters in other states to utilize their bands to bring them across as well? So let's say someone's doing a festival in Brisbane and then he might do one in Sydney, you can get them in Adelaide.
Yeah, yeah. So I've got like a few contacts for venues over in at least Melbourne for now, and I know a few promoters from over there too. And we do like band share from like we'll call it the previous Ironjaw crew bands to like the other promoters bands and all of that. So that's already happening. I just haven't got my foot in the door with the likes of Sydney yet. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that's the only state I haven't actually tapped into in any regard because I've
Yeah.
only been there to play once as well. So and I always forget. Well, it's I found it hard to find Sydney bands a few years ago, and now I know that there's bloody heaps of them anyway. So I was just looking in the wrong spots.
That's good. That's good. So I mean that shows there's a future progression in that aspect.
Actually,
Oh,
sorry, I fucked up there too. Grindhead Productions, Grindhead Records, those guys are from Sydney, and I just worked with them on Cranium. Now I've got like let's just say access to their bands, possibly, or at least like I am still working with them, or at least helping them with current events that they've got going on anyway. So I've got that bridge sort of covered for now.
yeah, I got a pre-release album from them the other day or last week, and I was like, I've never had one from them before, but hey, I'll take it. So that's another story for another time. This is about you. Um,
Yep.
I get the impression, and that the bleeding through thing that was a huge success here in Adelaide, obviously, and then you went over to Melbourne with them as well. I get the impression you're a bit of a bleeding through tragic there. Is that right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So how cool was that to be fucking working with them for a week?
um, I think about it every day, and I have since, like they've been like one of, if not my actual favorite band since 2005 at least. So that's 21 years. Um, my friend, she said like a while back, like, imagine a 15-year-old Michael having these dreams or like thinking that he was going to get there, and I didn't, because I didn't think about this shit when I was a kid. And I never thought I would work with like my favorite band. There's like two more that are probably in that tier, and I speak to one of them at least. So that could happen one day. But still, it was circumstantial. They weren't coming here the last time round. The first time I booked them in 2024, I believe that was. I jumped onto the promoter and was like, "Can I have them here?" And they're like, yeah. And that was that basically. But I didn't get to spend much time with them at that particular day because they had shows on either side of that Adelaide show that I hosted. And then cut to when I had them this year, I just hit up the vocalist. I was like, hey man, got these opportunities. It's like, yeah, we're keen. If you can do this, I can do that. And I'm like, yeah. And it was just that simple. They were the easiest people to work with. The nicest people I've ever hung out with. And they weren't just being nice just because I paid for their time either. They were actually very genuine. They hung out with us. They spoke to us like normal people. They weren't just band wanker dudes. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a dream come true, and I will forever be grateful for it and remember it.
Nice, very, very nice. Um, okay, so before we get into the reels, do you have anything else you want to add about either of the shows?
um, Not really. Just remind people that there will be Blood One is an all ages event, so that's
So,
whatever age until whatever age. As for the May 22nd one, unfortunately, I couldn't swing it for there. I was trying to, but venues have different rules and licensing and all that. But I would like to hope that people just make it to them either way, because don't worry about supporting me and my stuff, but the other bands, especially bands that are touring from like interstate, because that keeps bands wanting to come here. And Adelaide's a quiet, weird little place, and we need more bands to come here. So